And we are live. I'm your host, Lamar Robinson, and welcome back to Live with Lamar. I have a very special guest with me, a very good friend of mine for like 12 years. She's an actress, she's a producer, she's a fitness enthusiast. She is the amazing Jordan Coleman.
Oh, hello. I'm so excited.
Good, I feel it.
I'm a little nervous.
It's been cool. Like we've been sitting here just chatting and catching up.
Chit-chatting.
It's been. I already like knew this interview was gonna be great before I invited you, and then today I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really good.
It's kind of like no time has passed at all.
No, none at all. Like when I was like getting ready to bring the show back, I was like, who can I have genuine, fun conversation with the people I know? And like you were like one of the first people I thought about. I was like, oh Jordan, like easy, like we know each other like on different spectrums, and like we're here in LA and we're thriving. How you been? What you been up to?
Oh my gosh, I'm great.
Yes,
I am great. I can't complain. I'm gonna just start by saying like I was complaining for a long time, for like a couple of years, and I learned to like
zip it
because it doesn't help anything.
It does not help.
And I just lately been waking up feeling gratitude and like feeling blessed, and every little thing I just think of as like an obstacle that I can overcome.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been where my mindset is at lately, and things have been working out because of that. So that's
really
kind of
good.
what I've been my mood lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we've known each other for 12 years now. I know it doesn't. I mean, that time flies. Definitely does feel that way. Like, what has life been like for you? I mean, we've both been. You've been out for, you said, 8 years.
Yeah,
Even though you were robbed of 4 because of the pandemic and but we won't talk about that. But
I think. Okay, yeah, it's been about 8 years for me in September, I want to say. And we went to college together.
University of West Florida, go Argos.
Yeah, is that our thing? I don't
She
even.
acting old this entire time. Like she don't remember nothing. Yes, because they had like a little head thingy, and so it was like UWF, go Argos.
UWF don't hate me because I would love to come back to my alma mater one day. They'd be like, nah, she know what we do. No, okay, so I loved Pensacola. I love being with you.
Yeah, because you're from...
I'm from Fort Walton Beach, which
okay,
is like 40
45,
minutes east of there. So I didn't go very far.
Yeah, no, you didn't, but I'm from Pensacola, like, because I went to Pond Forest, so...
Yeah, okay, but you didn't come from South Florida.
No. I was born and raised in Pensacola, and then I went to school at UWF.
Okay.
I was going to go to the military, and then I decided I was going to go to the Marine Corps. And I changed my mind. I was like, actually, that sounds a little too hardcore. I was trying to prove something to people.
I'm sorry, but I'm like, with these leather pants on.
You feel it? You see the leather? It ain't giving Marines. It's not the leather pants. It's not giving...
I think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
And we here, exactly. So I just went up the street and went to school there at UWF. They sent me one of those emails saying, oh, like, come to school for free, or no application, and like no essay. So I was like, why not? So that's how I ended up at UWF.
I used my dad's GI Bill.
Oh, nice.
If I don't know if people know what a GI Bill is, but essentially if your mom or dad went to the military and they didn't go to school, they can pass it down to their child. So I was able to go to school for free, which is, I mean, amazing.
Yeah,
I know
that's great.
people now that are still
I met you
in
your
debt.
freshman year.
I know.
I was already a sophomore.
1 year ahead of me.
Yeah, so I remember at orientation when you came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you guys don't know, but we've kind of done this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
An interview.
We were just watching.
It looks horrible.
The production is
but
crazy.
But man, the passion is there. And that's all you want from a creative, is to see someone's passion just like continue to like grow and get better and learn along the way.
We've come so far.
Here.
Yes. I'm so proud of you. Do you still chat and talk to, like, being out here, like, I had to adjust with, like, being on the West Coast, like, all my friends, like, East Coast, Central Coast, so Central time zone, so it's hard to communicate sometimes because, like, they'll text me or call me at random times. I'm like, I was asleep, or it's late night over here, and they're, so how did you...
That 3-hour time difference is crazy.
It makes a huge difference.
It's insane. I will say, when I first moved, I was so excited to be in LA, and I would be calling, like, my line sisters and my neos, like, every other day, because I'd be driving a lot.
My neos still try to call me. I'm
and
like, I'm
then
not.
Slowly, as like I kept getting like more just busy, you stop with the phone calls, so now it's like DMs and all of that.
It's literally DMs.
It's DMs.
Instagram.
And it's the like my Neo sent me such a good message the other day. She was because they had just had their anniversary, and I haven't seen them in so long.
Yes.
But she was just thanking me for just the woman that I was in their lives. And so sometimes when you haven't talked to people for so long, you start being like, oh, like
me and Kate catch up like every other couple months.
Yeah,
Like
and it's like no time has passed.
No time has passed.
You know?
Love Kate down.
If you love someone and you guys had a genuine relationship, that never leaves.
Yeah, for sure.
Like no matter how much time passes.
Yeah, but everybody be so busy.
Everyone's busy, and you just have to respect that. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like we're getting hit with so much constantly, whether it's our jobs, social media. We live in LA. We got multiple jobs. Like it's a
20,000 jobs.
And so to sit there and also try to remember to like reach out to every single person, I'm like, oh.
It's like I'll randomly be like, let me check on because I haven't, because it gets, like you said, it gets hard.
I mean, thank God for Instagram.
Thank God for Instagram.
That's the one way, because I don't even know, like, we're in sororities and fraternities.
Yes.
Sometimes I don't even know. I'm like, oh, I'm turning 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, I keep up with it. But I was, I was the ace, so I had to I have to keep up with the
Yeah.
information. We just turned 11 like last month, so
just
like,
turned
yeah, oh yeah, you 24, it was
10.
2014, yeah, we both 2014, so yeah, we here, we getting old.
I will say we're old, but I'm like, that's a mindset.
Yeah, it is
I'm
a
not
mindset.
old. If anything, sometimes I feel like I'm getting younger. I know that's a weird thing
No.
to say, but I feel like I'm getting younger because every year I feel like I'm becoming more of myself, and I'm becoming less scared of the world around me. And when you can just like feel like a child and carefree,
Yeah.
you stop feeling that pressure of having to like put on this mask. And that's what I feel like makes people old. It's this mentality.
It's a mentality thing.
So
it's literally how you think.
every day I'm like, I don't want to do the middle finger, but I'll do that. This is how I feel. I'm like, I can't be embarrassed by you. My career isn't driven by what your standards are. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like kids, marriage. I don't throw it out the window. I'm doing me. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And that's why I still feel
I feel
kind of like a kid.
I feel like you've learned so much. Like, LA will haze you and teach you so much. And like, I was gonna ask you, like, what between year 1, Jordan, to almost year 8, Jordan, like, what do you think is probably the biggest thing like you even learned as like when you first moved out here? Like, you moved out here, came all the way out here, packed your bags, and trying to figure it out. And now you're here and you're like, damn, near got it figured out.
The best thing I learned, honestly, I was so fortunate to be around people a little older than me who taught me the way of like basically saying like, hey, lock in. Like, you might be this like young pretty girl that just moved to LA, but don't get lost in the sauce. And I got a little lost in the sauce.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I moved out here when I was 22.
Yeah.
I was having a blast.
Yeah.
No care in the world. I'm like, job, that'll come later. It was cheaper too back then.
Yes.
Like I found places to rent like $500 a month.
Wow.
Good luck.
Right.
Good
You
luck.
in the closet.
You can't even get that in back in Florida.
Not at all.
anymore.
Not at all.
But I will say I came out here because I loved my idea of wanting to be an actress, and that was what I came out here to pursue. I didn't have a plan B, but what I also didn't have was the discipline, you know what I mean? And I also didn't really have the motivation. Like, you're just doing a bunch of things, but it's not actually leading towards what you actually came out here to do.
Yes.
So thankfully with the people I have around me, they kept me wanting to be better because I
Yeah.
would look at them, and it wasn't that I was comparing myself to them, but I'm like, all right, yeah. I'm seeing that they're not going out unless it is like this, or
Yeah.
unless it's more of a special occasion,
Yeah.
and maybe they're not drinking, this many days a week, and this is who they're hanging out with, this is what they're prioritizing. So I slowly just started to transition myself into that type of mindset. And discipline is one of the hardest things.
That's what kicks my
ever.
ass. Consistency and discipline they've been beating my
Yeah.
ass for years.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that you mentioned like remembering, and you've said it multiple times, like you came out here for acting, that's your plan A. A month ago, I was feeling this thing of like, I feel like I lost why I moved out here. I was like, why did I even move to LA? And I was like, I'm about to move. I was literally telling myself I'm gonna move. I'm about to move to Dallas. Don't know why. I'm just gonna move somewhere else because I don't know why. I don't know if the reason I moved to LA is still the same. And then I did a red carpet a couple weeks ago, and I got reminded why the fuck I moved out here.
Yep. It'll happen like that. I also think it's just a test to like.
Because I'm not leaving. I'm not going back to Florida.
No.
That's not even an option. I like it here.
No. I think you have a goal, and what you experienced wasn't so much like, oh, do I know what I'm doing? It's just an obstacle of this is hard. And it's like, I don't know what you want to call it, whether it's the devil, whether it's something, and it's in your ear
all
like,
that.
you want back down? You want back down?
Yeah.
You want to you do all this other, like, no. Just like if you
I just
stay
wanna
there,
do this.
and some days it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look nice. And you're like, I don't even know if this is helping my live with Lamar show or
Yeah.
my red carpet events. But in all honesty, every single thing you do, if you get up and show up for yourself, whether it's 30 minutes in the gym, whether it's let me go text this one person because they're going to give me some inspiration, let me go to this event and network and just get my mind back on track. Like, there's not like a crystal clear playbook of what your career looks like and how to get there. It's just trying some days. If you got 10% to give 10%. And boom, you just conquered the day. But to give 0, that means that you've completely given
How did you find your lane? Like, I love everything you're speaking about because it's like you watch and you've seen the people that inspire you and you see, okay, how is so-and-so being successful? Okay, they're not going out as much. You mentioned those things. And so, like, in LA, I feel like you have to find your lane. You have to find, like, where your place is to navigate where you want to be and who you want to become. How have you and how are you, like, finding, like, the Jordan Coleman lane? Like, this is my lane. This works for me. This is what I learned. Take from this as what you can and then apply it. So how have you created your lane?
I think, for one, when I moved out here, I had a moral and ethic compass that I know I wouldn't stray far away from. So that's a big thing, because if you don't have that, if that's not the discipline and motivation aspect, that's just what are you going to do when things get hard? Are you going to switch up on people? Are you going to do certain things for money, especially when it comes to acting? You know what I mean? So that automatically put me into just like certain like boxes of like, these are the type of people I'm going to work with. These are the type of friends I want to have. These are the type of guys I want to date. And that automatically kind of keeps you in that lane. Now, like, deciding who Jordan Coleman is a different thing almost every day. I think that's ever evolving. You know, but I think there's just parameters within it. And I know how I want to be perceived. I know how I want to treat people. And I just keep doing that every day. And then who Jordan Coleman is just keeps like doing this. There's no like stop to it. There's just like those kind of moral and ethic parameters that ensure, as I become better at my craft and as I become a hopefully bigger and more named actress, you know, all of that practice of knowing who you are, no matter how big you get, that'll keep you on the right path. Because we don't know the right, only God knows. Only God knows. You know what I mean? The path. But if you can keep it right there, you know what I mean? Not stray too far from it, then I feel like anyone, that goes for anyone, you're on the right track. You
mentioned like relationships and decide like who you want to involve yourself with. And LA can be a very fickle place where you can get involved with the wrong people, the wrong network, etc. So like, how do you navigate building like genuine connections and friendships with people?
There's a story just came to mind. I had a friendship with the girl. I'm still friends with her to this day. I wouldn't say friends. I say I'm acquaintances with her. When I see her, it's all love. I say hi. We were at the hip, and it was at a time where I was like going out a little more, and I quickly started to realize how she goes about trying to do her career was completely different with how I'm doing my career. And without, I'm not going to say her name or get into like real specifics.
Right, for sure.
But it was one of those things where, as much as I loved being around her, I had to separate myself from her and find people that aligned more with how I'm going to operate. Because there is absolutely no judgment at all. Absolutely. How you decide to get what you want and how she decides to get what you want and how I decide to get what I want. You could judge me how I'm doing it. And people are like, girl, you could just do this.
But
I'm like, it's my way. And it's figuring out that earlier better than later so that you don't find yourselves in compromising positions and you're in a room with people and you don't recognize what's going on and you no longer know who you are in a room, when really you should be walking in a room and being like, I got this. I know who I am and no one can like deter me from that. So it's cutting off relationships kind of from the get-go. Without burning a bridge. No bridges need to be burned. Everyone is different.
We can be adults and be like, we're just going to separate ways. And I've done it. I've definitely separated from friendships that people think, you know what I mean? I've been there with my person attached, like we're like this, and then we're like not like that anymore. And it's like what happened is like you kind of grew apart.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it is the most cliche thing. What is it, like the company you keep, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It says a lot about you. And if I have someone on my hip that is kind of the exact opposite of what I was talking about, that ethic and moral compass, we all have different versions of what that looks like. Well,
Yeah.
yours is going to bleed into mine. Whether I act like you or not, people are going to perceive
By default.
me as that,
By
and
default.
I can't
I
have
can't. Yeah.
that. Whether it's big or
'Cause
small.
image matters, especially in LA, especially with the work that you do that I do. Like it matters. So like people
Yeah.
are always thinking, and so you have to like perception is everything.
I know. That's the one part that is very interesting. Like from acting, no one really knows. Like no one's really calling me out in the street. But I work for a really big YouTube company.
Yes.
And I will be in the most random places, and people are asking me for pictures,
Wow.
and coming up to me at 3 a.m. in the airport. I was taking an improv class. Someone's coming up to me there. I'm having dinner. People are coming up to me asking me for photos, and I'm like, "This is."
How does that feel?
It's it feels really cool because
Is there ever a moment where you've like, do you always take the pictures?
yeah,
Even 3 a.m. in the airport?
Yeah, that one was rough, but I was like,
I twitch.
because the guy literally he was like, my girlfriend's never gonna believe this, and I'm like, she will.
she will.
And I'm like, the photos are there, or they'll be like, can I take a photo? I'm like, you're already
You're
taking
already
it.
here. You're already here. You go ahead. Jeez.
But I totally understand how people like, not compare myself to Justin Bieber, but I'm like, the crash out. I mean, imagine that, what I deal with. That,
Yeah.
I mean, it's constant like photos in front of you, but to go back to how does it feel, it's interesting because you never know who is in the same room as you and who's watching every
Somebody's always
single
watching.
thing that you do. So that's the part that I've had to really get used to is still being myself.
Yeah.
But just watching what I say, watching what I do, making sure I'm not acting a fool. I can't overdrink too much. I have to make sure I'm always in control of a situation. Because there's been times that I didn't even know someone was in the same place and they knew who I was. I opened up my phone one day. I'm in Brooklyn at a pizza spot, and I opened up my Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, big fan, saw you at Roberta's in Brooklyn. I didn't want to come up to you, but and enjoy the city." And it's just like,
Here we
I
are.
could have been doing anything, and they would have been watching me, and I had no idea. So now it's just taking that and being like, you kind of have to apply it everywhere you go, and that is a weird thing.
You always have to be on.
You always have to be on, and it's not for the weak because this is just the beginning. If I came out here to be an actress, I mean,
It's
only gonna
get.
So it's staying grounded. It just goes back, I think, to that moral ethic compass and just knowing my parameters. And it's only the beginning. And I think I have a great level head. I do think I'm made for this type of career. It's not going to be easy.
Not at all. But you're made for it.
I do think so.
How do you navigate dating? Like you're a pretty girl. We know this. She's been gorgeous since college. How do you navigate? Because you're focused. You're focus driven.
Yeah.
How do you navigate like dating? I'm sure guys are in your DMs tossing. I mean, I know they're in your DMs. I know for facts. How do you navigate through that? Where it's like
First and foremost, they are in everybody's DMs.
facts.
They're in everybody. And once you realize that, then you realize it's not that I'm not special, but also I'm like, you know what I
Kick
mean?
rocks.
I'm like, boy, I could care less. I could literally care less. But I have been in a relationship for a couple years now, and we're long distance. And
Okay, that's okay.
that
Do you
has
like long
been,
distance?
Oh, it's been a game changer.
I've done long distance once, and
Yeah.
I was like, never again. But then I've kind of recently been thinking,
How old were you?
this was like 2 years ago. So I was
years
like
ago?
28,
Oh, okay. Okay.
somewhere in 28, 29. And because I can be clingy, and I like my person.
Yeah.
But I think the long distance will make me not feel like I have to give you a break. Because otherwise we finna be together every day.
It's like, I think you guys both have to be busy. And that's what's happening
Yes.
in my life. I am clingy. So therefore, all the people that I dated in LA before this guy, it's way too much time spent. Just
Yeah,
being
and that's been
nestled
my
up.
downfall for my situation.
I wasn't working hard enough on my goals. I'm eating like crap. Now I usually date guys who are in the gym, so that never really like was a thing.
My ex, we were eating pizza
Yeah.
and wings and KFC.
I could have been
and
taking classes, and I'm over here watching the 3rd season of You, and it's just like, this isn't helping my career at all.
Yeah.
You have to find someone that you can like rely on and that you know is there, but you don't have to just like continuously I don't know how to say it, not show up for, but
it's just your mind's occupied. Because I get that. Like when I'm busy, it allows me not to have to like stress or worry about certain things. But if I have nothing but time on my hand, like I'm in this certain weird season, so like, and if I'm dating someone, I'm talking to them, my energy and time is consumed with you that I could be putting elsewhere, like you just pointed out. But like not having a routine, not having a balance, is things that I'm still currently trying to work to build. Cause, and I think it's a downfall because we're spending like so much time together, like that, and it's cute, it's adorable. Like I like my person. Like yes, I want you in. I was gonna say inside me. That sounds really crazy. Clip that.
No, I like it. It's fun.
But I want. I can't believe I just said that. But I want you. This is live with Lamar. Take a sip to that. I'm glad. Yes, you have to find your person.
So I think the biggest thing with like if you actually find your person and you think it's your person, then there's no rush. Why are we worried about these first 3, 4, 5 months just constantly being next to each other? My thing is, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. We can be rocking in each other's rocking chairs next to each other at 80. And I'm like, but guess what? We put in that work and we did all this stuff in our 20s. And, you know what I mean? We can do this later. Like, why are we rushing? And then oftentimes, those first 3 months, you like pack so much in. You just get tired of each other.
Yeah,
you get tired
because you want to talk about have all those conversations, and I'm guilty, but I guess those dating is you live and learn. You learn what not to do for the next one.
And I'm like wondering why none of my relationships made it past a year. It's like, well, because we did everything that you can do in a relationship under the year.
I was so invested with both my relationships. With my first relationship, I bought that we're not really strangers card game, but for couples, and we played those when we like do them, and then it's like I used it in my first, and I used it in my second, and then I threw them away after the second. I said I'm not playing this game again. I said this is jinx. This is crazy.
You got to know them too well.
Yeah, I feel like you said, because I was trying to do so much, trying to make you be my person, and it's like,
It'll just happen.
Yeah.
It'll just happen, and like you stay focused on you and what you're doing, and it'll work out with the right person. Like,
Yeah.
You do not have to be up under them, because if they're doing their life and you're doing yours, it just comes together
I
so
agree.
peacefully and beautifully.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And it was also I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and he was dating a girl or trying to date a girl, and he's very into his career. And she was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do yet. Maybe I'll just move where you're moving. And he was like, oh, no. Because it's like, what are you going to do? What you going to do when you come here? You're going to move for me, which that's already the worst step in the especially in your early 30s.
Yeah.
That means, okay, you're already sidebarring anything that you were thinking about doing on your own, and now you're just going to be up under someone else, kind of hoping something works out.
Yeah.
When you really have to build yourself up first, because then you can be an addition to someone. But people got to stop thinking that it's like, now as when you're married and you've been in a relationship, build together, but to try to build as a new couple, it just don't make no sense.
It doesn't. And like you said, to build yourself up, if a person, you both do this. You go parallel, you're building it, and I'm learning how important individuality is, like to have your own and know yourself, and that's your other person, and then you just mesh together. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Because then they also won't steer you, because let's be honest, like not every relationship is going to work out either.
Yeah.
So to go into every relationship kind of betting on their life making yours better, especially for women, don't do that. Just don't. Don't do that. I've been there. I've been there 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 times, and it ain't work out.
Yeah.
And this has kind of been the first time that I've ever felt like, oh, this is the most blissful, most peaceful relationship, because I am so focused on myself. Even if things with him were to go bad, I'm like, I still have my foundation.
Yeah.
And that's what you should be bringing into a relationship, is your solid foundation, their solid foundation. You can't be rickety. Because then when they do something, you're gonna fall over. And then you got to do the whole build. And we're not doing that anymore.
We're not.
Okay? It's 2025. We're not doing that. We're not going to be rickety for these niggas.
We're not rickety nobody.
Okay?
And it's that time. I'm so glad you all come there. Drink that wine. Drink that wine, baby girl, because it's time for a little game.
Oh, no.
Yes. It's time for a game.
Okay, here.
We're going to play this or that. Real simple. Get to know you a little bit more. Yeah, it's real fun. You ready?
I'm so indecisive, so let's see.
Well, that's great, because it's crazy, because this first question, you kind of might have just answered. Do you prefer being the planner of the group or go with the flow?
I am the planner.
I believe it.
I'm the planner. My friends, this one specific friend, she calls me neurotic.
Oh, wow.
Even if we're just going out to dinner, I'm like, guys, okay, so there's a parking lot right here.
Yeah.
We have to be here
Facts.
at
That's
7,
important
and
to
then
know.
we can't sit down until everyone's here. And then also I'm thinking the shishito peppers and then this and this and then
Do you lie to your friends about the time they need to show up to the place?
No, I don't
do.
go that far
I do.
because I will say a lot of times I am the late friend as well.
Oh.
Yeah, even though I planned it all. But sometimes that's why I'm be like, I planned it.
So I could be late.
Y'all be there and get the table. But I am the planner.
She was on time today. Let's say that.
It was early.
Early. You love that. Meet someone romantically through work or through friends?
Work.
Why?
Because I love my work. And if I met you there, then like
There's already some alignment.
Yeah,
there.
and that also means that you most likely do something in my field. Something of the sort. It doesn't need to be actor, but whether it's writer, director, some type of creative in the entertainment industry. Yeah. Because I want to be able to like say stuff that you know, and I want to be able to maybe run my lines with you. And
So I agree.
yeah. I like the idea of dating within your career. I know some people hate it.
Yeah.
It's like a 50-50 stance. But I'm on the
You want it?
I'm on the work stance.
We're with it. We're gonna get into this shortly, but Rebel Moon set or the All American Homecoming set?
Like if I would rather.
Which set? Yeah, which one? This or that? Which set did you and would you pick?
Oh my God, Rebel Moon was absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you're dealing with Zack Snyder.
Yes.
And they built out the sets completely because All American is shot on a lot, and Rebel Moon part of it was shot on a lot, but the part that I was at was in Santa Clarita.
Oh, nice.
Where
That's
they
what we were talking about.
Completely built out the set, and it was insane. I mean, absolutely insane, but that's millions and millions of dollars of a budget right there. Now, it was hot as hell. So if you take the temperature away, I would take that set every day. Yeah.
What about strength training or cardio?
I should say cardio, but strength training.
Yeah, I know you like get them guns. Yeah,
I feel like such a beast.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
My roommate will hand me a can of tomato, or you know what I mean, and I'm like,
strong.
I'm like, oh, I just did a Spartan race, and I was like doing things that like grown men couldn't do.
Yeah, we'll get into that too. Solo workout or group class? Gotcha.
Honestly, probably solo.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm so busy. I'm like, I need to get it in. Sometimes I want to film it too. Group classes come in when I want to do like hot yoga.
Okay.
Because I love a guided yoga session.
Okay.
I'm not good at doing yoga by myself.
Me either. I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
I can't even. You doing the hot? I'm trying to get past just regular yoga.
Hot yoga, getting those muscles.
I'll see you soon, dear. Cheat meal: pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
I know you love pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, I know. What's your favorite type of pizza?
Low key cheese.
Yeah.
Just cheese.
Just simple.
But with, oh my God, if I had like the perfect pizza, it would have prosciutto and jalapenos and pineapple. And I know there's pineapple pizza haters. Fight me. Fight me.
Fight me, real.
Because it is the best thing on earth, especially with the jalapenos. Oh my God.
Okay. Great. Morning workouts or a night session?
Morning.
Yeah, you're such an early bird.
I will do a night workout if I want to do a second workout of the day. Yeah.
It's two of that is crazy. Get caught on a bad hair day or a bad outfit?
I feel like I never do my hair anyways. Bad outfit, I'm like, I wear like Goodwill clothes most of the time.
Jordan said you're going to get me how I am.
Yeah. Like, you ever see like pictures of like Zendaya and the paparazzi?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she
just don't yeah. And she's beautiful. And I'm like, listen, as an actress, I will be done up on set.
Yeah. When
you see me on TV, that's when you'll see me. You see me at Whole Foods, mind your business.
Mind your business. I'm getting groceries. I'm going in and getting.
You know what I mean?
Leave me alone. I just got home from work and leave me alone.
I guess I'd rather be in a bad outfit than a bad hair day. Because if my hair, with curly hair too, you can look a little Felicia. Yeah. Okay, I'll choose catch me in a bad outfit. Yeah.
Star in a horror movie or be trapped in a reality TV show.
Horror movie.
For sure.
You won't catch me in reality television.
Yeah, I believe it. You like horror movies?
Yeah, more so because I want to be in one. I don't care about watching them.
I can see you being in one. That'd be fun.
I want to be in one.
I need you in a slasher though, so I can see you get gutted.
Yeah, I want to.
I bet.
I've been kind of working on my.
Yeah, you gotta get that Jada Pinkett from Scream 2. Because she loves horror movies, and she requested from West that like make my scene brutal if I do this, which is why her scene was so brutal. One of the most iconic openings for Scream and horror. I love Scream. I love horror movies.
I love that. Yes. Take it all the way.
She's like, you gonna do it, do me right.
Yeah, like decapitate me.
No, literally, she was. Yeah, they gutted her ass.
Ooh, I love it, and I would love to make a horror film because they're the cheapest films to make. Easy,
just make them bleed.
Yeah, the sets are normally like one location. Horror films are the cheapest. That's why they keep coming out in theaters because they don't take no money.
And last but not least, forget your lines on set or trip walking into an audition.
Trip walking into an audition. Easy. I told you, I don't get embarrassed easily.
Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, and when I came up with that question, I literally picture you walking into a room and tripping and like recovering, like it'd be nothing. You'd be like,
I've done worse.
Like this shit happens.
Yeah, I've done worse.
Y'all need to fix that.
I've showed up to auditions and like had no idea what was like going on. Like commercial auditions are insane. They have you do the craziest stuff. But like forgetting my lines on set, it might be a wrap.
It's a wrap at that point.
Grab the rope, find a bar. That would, because like you work your whole life to get on set, you know? But for an audition, if anything, it's gonna make them like remember me.
For sure. Yeah. I love it. Were any of those questions challenging for you to answer? Was anyone like one that was like, ooh?
The hair and outfit one.
Yeah, it's like George said, you don't get me how I am. Get me how I am.
And it goes back to like, I could care less what you think about me until it comes to my craft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm getting celery in Whole Foods, just mind your business. Because like this ain't got nothing to do.
You should be doing the same as that thing. Don't worry about me. Let's get into your acting career. Let's talk a little bit about this. So, you've been on BET's The Perimeter. You've been All-American Homecoming. You've been in Rebel Moon. I want to dive into those. Let's start with All-American Homecoming. That was so big for our friends. I was getting texts and calls, and I'm sure like everybody from Pensacola, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Jordan's All-American. Jordan's All-American." Like da-da-da-da. How did that feel like? All the praise and acknowledgement and everyone just hitting you up like screenshot and recording, like seeing you being this amazing tennis star, like the #1 tennis player in the world on All-American Homecoming. Like
so weird, right?
Yeah, so crazy. Like I was like, damn, that's a big ass role. Like she that girl.
Never played tennis in my life.
I'm actually that. You didn't play, but you was that girl in All-American.
Never played. And I told casting that too. I was like, I've never played. They're like, Booker.
You look great. You like the #1.
Yeah, I remember like shooting that audition too. I was rushing because I had to go to the airport to get to like New York. So my friend is like reading it for me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's callbacks, sometimes there's not. That was like a straight to shooting type of thing. And I mean, I loved it because it showed my athleticism, even though I never played tennis.
But you look like you did.
In my opinion, like my whole craft, everything I do, I want it to be because it kind of coincides with each other. So like all the working out I do is to hopefully be able to get those badass roles. And I feel like that was the first time I was able to show that off, like, you know, the arms. I'm like, no, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Whether it may not be that sport, but I am athletic and I take care of myself. Yeah. But it was pretty cool because I had just got back from shooting Perimeter. And as an actor, internally things are different than like how people are perceiving it, because there's so many other things happening or things that I've shot that haven't come out yet. Yeah. But to everyone else, it's like, oh shit. And I was like, oh yeah. But also all this other stuff
is going on too.
that I've been doing. Yeah. So like when you're shooting it, like, and I love to be in the moment and I'm very appreciative, but also I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just the beginning. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's so fun to see like people from like my hometown, my small hometown, being like, oh my God. And in my head, I'm like, you haven't seen nothing yet. You know what I mean? But it was pretty awesome. It was so quick. Like you get on set, you don't really rehearse. And they're just like, all right, you're going to go right here, and you're going to go right there. I had a stunt double.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I had a stunt double for that. And there was actually no tennis balls ever.
Oh, I got to watch the episode now.
When I'm like hitting.
Yeah.
Because there's camera equipment everywhere.
You just hit in
They
air.
added that in post with VFX.
Yeah. And I know you know a lot of. We're gonna talk about your production and everything. You know. Let's talk about Rebel Moon. Netflix is Rebel Moon Part 1, right?
Yes.
Part 1, and I seen this video with you in this prosthetic cocoon. Could you breathe?
Yeah.
I see just your nose. It was just your nose.
They put nose holes in it. So basically, what you do is I went to this company called Fractured VFX. They're out in like it's not Burbank, maybe it's like West Covina. They're amazing. They've done almost every major blockbuster that you've seen. And I also had to go get like eye contact lenses fitted. They did Michael Jackson videos for like him.
Yeah.
Very, very professional. Got my eyes checked. 2020. Let's go.
Come on, child, say 20. Contacts.
But yeah, so they put me in this big cast.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it's like, and you said you took a nap.
I fell asleep immediately to the point where I started and they would have to bring me back. Some people are claustrophobic, and I just put on my story the other day. I was like, I'm the opposite of claustrophobic. If I'm in a tight, dark space, I don't know if it's like I'm back in my mother's womb.
Oh, you survive on Fear Factor.
Yeah, I probably would. I'm not scared of much. But yeah, I fell asleep, and they were so nice. It was the coolest thing ever, because in their facility you can see like the Predator like outfit. Like they've done so much stuff, and that was just the beginning. That was just them getting.
How long did it take to set?
It was probably like an hour or
That's not
so
too bad.
there. Yeah, and then the first day on set to get everything done on me was probably like a 3-hour process. But there's so many people on you.
Yeah.
That like it got down to like an hour. And then there's also multiple people on me to take it all off, like using oil to take it off.
How long did it take to get everything off?
Honestly, like 30 minutes, if that. The worst thing about it wasn't the prosthetics. I would do prosthetics again. It was this latex outfit they had me in. It was basically like I was wearing a condom. And thankfully they had like 5 made because I busted out of all of them.
Come on.
They made a little zipper so that I could pee. But it was so hot. It was like 120 degrees, and I'm like sweating, and
Oh my God.
condoms don't breathe like that, and I would just it would just bust, and then bust.
Now you understand our pain.
Yeah, and then I had. I'll drink to that.
It's getting a little risque.
And then I had those big horns.
Yes, you looked great though.
It was so much fun.
You look fun, yeah.
Zach loved my character. And what was really cool is like he knew, and I guess is a thing for him. If you're on his set, he knows everyone's name. He'll always call you by your names. And him and his wife would always come on and be like, "How you doing, Jordan?" And I had these contacts in, and I was like, I really can't see you. I was like, but I'm doing great. I was like, I'm doing great. I'm over here, and I'm like.
Yeah, it looked great. You looked beautiful. Like that. I watched the video. I was like, wow, it turned out great. But I was like, can she breathe?
Yeah, it's so crazy. I was on set like 5-6 days. Hours on hours, and it just came down to this tiny little clip in the final edit, which is fine. Still got the credit. I still got to be shot by Zack Snyder.
On IMDb. That's all that matters.
It was an amazing experience.
So you have you've been in so many different diverse roles and played different characters. Like we just named a few, but you've been in other short films and projects. How do you go about choosing your roles and the projects that you go out for? Like how do you and your agents like?
So for me, I'm not going for a particular genre. I think I'm starting to learn that I really like comedy a little more.
Yes.
And I even started like taking improv classes at this place called Upright Citizens Brigade. I actually just graduated from like 101. Ooh. Yeah, super fun. It's great on a resume having improv skills.
Nice.
But I like all of it.
Yeah.
I want to be the actor that I'm going to act until I'm on my deathbed. Because also, Grey's Anatomy.
They on like 100 seasons.
And then there'll be a 100-year-old man like getting paid. So I'm going to act until I die.
Until you die. I love that.
But I love every genre, and I think every genre... My thing with acting is I got into it because I want to be able to tell other people's stories and be able to not be judgmental or biased, and then by you telling these people's stories, other people get to watch stories be told in a way that maybe changes their mind on something, or maybe they become empathetic on something, or maybe you just make them laugh. Yeah. Maybe you change their day around or something like that. And I feel like that is our biggest responsibility as actors, is to be able to tell people's stories through a different lens in order to communicate with the rest of the world, and there's no judgment at all.
I love how you mentioned that, because I know you do a lot of production work and you work behind the scenes, and I know you have aspirations to probably get some filmmaking under your background. What stories are you passionate about telling? Like, what do you see? Like, what's the vision and the type of projects you want to work on?
That's so interesting. Because I want to do so many. My mind is always like,
Yeah.
I think all of them. Like literally when I was getting my new team, and when I say team, I mean like my new theatrical agents and my manager, they asked me, what do you like to do most? And I said, especially as a young actress, give it all to me. You give me a crackhead role, I'm gonna be the best crackhead you ever seen.
Come on, crackhead.
If you give me a prostitution role, I'm gonna be the best prostitute. Because those stories need to be told. You know what I mean? And with the same weight of any other role, whether a high defense attorney or something. All of these things are in our world.
Yeah.
So I want to do every single thing.
Give it to you. Give it all.
Yeah. So as of now, there's not like a particular thing I want to talk about. I do want to do a documentary one day.
Okay.
About racism.
Okay.
Specifically with growing up in the South and being mixed and racism was such a normal thing growing up, like in high school.
Yeah.
Like being told certain things and you just got to eat it as a black kid.
Yeah.
And then you don't really realize
it until later.
And you just kind of get used to like, no, that's just how they are. So I want to have a sit down with like the racists.
Yeah.
How everyone has navigated their lives because of everyone's different opinions.
I've seen some concepts like that where it's basically a round table and everybody like you're hearing these different perspectives.
Yeah.
That kind of be cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. So maybe something around that because like what is it, the Willie Lynch letter always really kind of inspired something. I printed it out one time because I was like, wow, it still holds true to this day of just keeping people separated, keeping the man more feminine, whatever it is.
Yeah. It's stripping the masculinity away from
and we're still dealing with it to this day. And that's a whole different conversation, but yeah, we'll rise up. We're rising up. We have risen up.
Yes, we
but
have.
we still have a lot of work to do.
And I see like you do a lot behind the scenes. Like I've seen your BTS of the company that you work with and like all that. What have you learned from stepping from in front of the camera and being behind the scenes, learning all the VFX and like all the cool things that make, the actors pop on screen?
Yeah. I think the biggest overall thing that I've learned as an actress working behind the scenes is that it doesn't just come like this. It takes a village, it takes a lot of knowledge, and it takes a lot of skilled people who have to be great at what they do. The lights being there isn't just them being there.
And they matter.
Yeah.
Like we were watching and we didn't have no lighting.
It's a whole skill set, and there's these...
Framing and all that matters.
There's these people called grips who get paid a lot of money to ensure that your building doesn't burn down. And those grips don't touch anything else. They do exactly that. And then you have hair and makeup who do just that. And then you have gaffers who do just that. And then as an actress, you don't do anything except this.
Yes.
You don't, so realizing that everyone has a role that they have to play really, really well and watching something just come into fruition is like the most beautiful thing ever. But also just realizing like, no job is too small. That PA that's running to get you water has been doing that for 13 hours, man. And like that is helping the film production.
Not getting paid.
No, they're getting paid so little, but they're helping this whole thing run.
It matters.
Because if they weren't grabbing you the water, then you'll be thirsty, you can't act.
Yeah.
So everybody's role makes a difference, a really big difference. And I think some people that didn't maybe have to work their way up, they don't know, and so they're always wondering like, why is it taking so long? Why when you have to flip the world? And it's like, there's a lot of steps to take here to ensure that everything looks great, so that you look good on camera.
You look great, yeah.
And you're over here complaining.
Of the puzzle matters.
Yeah. So I think that's what it's taught me is patience. Yeah.
You do so much.
I know.
You do a lot, and you still manage to be an adult. We were talking about cooking and working out and et cetera, et cetera. Like, first off, before I even ask you what's your secret, I gotta ask you about this. You familiar with Ashton Hill?
Ashton Hill.
Ashton Hill is the viral fitness influencer that went viral because of his 5 a.m. 4:30.
Oh, Mr. Saratoga.
Yes. What's your thoughts on his routine? I mean, you have a routine. Do you think it's a real routine? Like, what is your thoughts when that went crazy? Internet was going crazy about this.
I think there's absolutely some truth to his routine.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Definitely agree. Because you pick your lifestyle. I think it was some exaggerations for entertainment, but I do think it's...
Yeah. There's always exaggerations, but also anything on Instagram is an exaggeration. Before social media, we had TV commercials.
Right.
All of it's an exaggeration. You think Jennifer Aniston is really drinking smart water?
No.
No, like no one is actually doing anything that they say that they're doing in any of these commercials. The same as magazines, the same as newspapers. To think that some people are doing exactly what they're doing on Instagram is crazy. This is our newest way of like advertising and marketing. So you have to take it as a grain of salt. I love that he blew up because it just...
And he had been doing that content already for years. And I've seen this guy way before, but this one particular routine, and everyone's been going crazy. And all he did was pouring more money into his pocket. Everyone was recreating it. Captain Crunch recreated it.
Really?
And it with cereal, like every brand was doing it.
I love it. I don't enjoy that people hate on this type of content.
You're getting paid.
Because my thing is like, he's not hurting anybody.
Nope.
Even if he is lying. His body don't look like he's lying.
Not at all.
And also his pockets probably don't look like he's lying either.
Yep.
So I think the people that hate on it they're like, damn, I should have thought of that idea. Let me be hateful in the comments.
Yeah.
I love a good Instagram thing like that because at the end of the day, if you're making someone else want to wake up at 4 a.m. to be great, even if it's just one day out of the month, then that silly little routine video worked. That's how I feel. Like, I don't have the craziest engagement on my Instagram, but the DMs that I get, and like when I'm in social circles and they say like, man, like your Instagram video is really being, I'm like, dang, like it does not matter how many people are watching. Someone is watching and it's changing someone's thought process on how to make their life better, and keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Even if you got 2 Instagram followers, it don't matter.
Yeah, so how do you stay balanced and fit? Like, you're big into fitness. Body is T. If y'all haven't seen at Jordan Coleman on Instagram, body is T.
And I'm like wearing I wear the baggiest clothes too.
It's great under there. So how do you stay motivated, keeping the abs tight? You just did a Spartan race I saw, which is fucking crazy. Like, let's talk about your fitness and your wellness lifestyle. Like, what keeps Jordan like waking up every morning to go out there and make sure his body is bodying?
I have one of the biggest goals in life is to be how do I say this? You ever watch like Salt with like Angelina Jolie and then Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron? That is what I'm going for. An action role.
You want to be badass.
And that takes so much discipline. And my acting teacher always says this. He said, if you have a fight with Mike Tyson tomorrow, would you start training today or would you have been training for years?
For years. Because Mike still got it high key.
Now, I have nothing in the works of an action movie coming out. But I can tell you right now, come back and watch this episode. Brother, I am going to be in an action film just as big as Atomic Blonde, and I've been working at it for years, and this is just to show you it does not happen overnight. And if you want something, you have to visualize it, and you have to understand every day you have to work towards it. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect every day. We were talking about this earlier. Some days I wake up with 10%. I give the 10%. And that's all I had to give, and that's all I have to give. Some days it's just writing in a journal. If it helps towards a goal, then just do it. You know what I mean? So that is why I do all the things that I do, because to me, no amount of money, I spend all of my money on my craft. More acting class, run it. Improv class, run it. Dance class, run it. Because that keeps me moving. It keeps me knowing
and that's
my
more
space in the world. You know, that helps with memorizing fighting routines. Like, it all coincides.
It all matters. It's all the pieces. Kind of like we were talking about the workers. Like, all of it matters.
So that's why I do everything that I do every single day, because I'm getting that role.
I'm not mad at it. And you have this mantra: focus on improving yourself, not proving yourself.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
To this day, and I think everyone can agree to this, we wake up every day wanting to either kind of flex the good things happening, which is fine, or we feel like, I don't want to talk about like this happening, or like I'm a little bit in debt, or, like I didn't get that role. And we're always trying to like prove to people why we like deserve something, or like, no, like I'm good, like look, like, and it doesn't matter because no one's opinions are going to get you that role. What matters is what you think about yourself and how you show up for yourself and how you treat others, because that's what's going to come back around and either help you or kick you in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
The opinions of others are fleeting. And they also are probably coming from projections out of their own life.
Yeah, and their own traumas, and get a therapist.
Yeah. So put the energy of trying to prove yourself to others into proving to you that you can accomplish a goal, and you'll see your life completely change.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. You spit bars.
Every day is a challenge. That's not to say I have it all figured out at all. Every day is so hard. I still wake up and cry, and I'm like, yo, what is going on, bro? Life is crazy. Life is weird.
Life is be lifing. Because I don't have the answers all the time. Like you said, like we don't know. Like, and I've learned to like when I wake up and it's a bad day for me. It's not that I'm accepting, but it's I have a day where I'm just in my emotions. I allow myself to sit in that, but I don't allow myself to have 2 days of that. I'll give myself that day, that moment, and the next day I'm back on it. It's always that way. You text me tomorrow, I'm like, how you feel? I'm like, it's Monday. It's fucking Monday. And I'm like, But then Tuesday, I'll have a different attitude.
Yeah. I've been taught, it was like, just give yourself grace.
Grace.
Because we'll be our own worst critic, which is fine sometimes to a limit.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be so detrimental if you just continue to tear yourself down. When there's a difference between tearing yourself down and being like, no, all right, you need to tighten this up a little bit. You need to lock in a little more. That's not to say you can't have fun, you can't go see your friends, you can't have a drink.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a certain amount of discipline. The day you stop leveling up is the day that you plateau. So once you feel comfortable in any way, shape, or form, I suggest you immediately get yourself out of it. Now, whether it's going into that advanced class because you were in the beginner class, or it's, I'm going to go do this alone, and I've never done this alone. Or I'm going to take a solo trip because I've never done that, and you just never know what comes out of it. Be uncomfortable, because the world that we live in is going to eat you alive because of your comfortability.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time when it comes to finances, when it comes to the doom scrolling. Everything is in place to ensure that you don't continue to thrive as a human. They love it. They love it. They want to keep us sick, and they want to keep us at home. They want to give us these mortgages that are too high, and then now we can't go see the world.
Yeah.
You can't fall into it.
You can't. And I'm crazy you mentioned doom scrolling. I actually have that on here because I seen your thread about that, and I was like, oh, perfect, let's talk about that. Doom scrolling is I work in social media, so it's hard for me to break away from my phone and social media because I work in it, so I'm consumed by it all the time. How do you balance? Because all I'm hearing is like you've learned how to put away bad habits. We were talking about coming here, and I was like, oh, are there any specific writers you need, like any type of drinks? Like, I'm got this role I'm working on, so I'm like, laying off the liquor, the hard liquor per se. Like, I got to keep this body tea. Like, how did you like balance, like staying away from the bad habits, like the drinking and or going out all night, and then doom scrolling? Like, how do you?
Yeah, I think at least for me, like I have a lot of friends who never even started drinking. And so they don't have it in the back of their head that it's even a problem.
Yeah.
But for me, I personally feel like I partied way too much when I came here. And I think once you see the repercussions of your actions, like, oh, you skipped the gym this many times because you felt like crap when you woke up. Yeah. Oh, I had a smaller waist a couple months ago, but it just kind of got off track. Once you start seeing that, then you're like, God, it's not fun.
Yeah.
And like for things that aren't helping you to be drastically changing your life. And if you have a goal and you start realizing that these things that you're doing are not helping the goal, then you quickly, well, I won't say quickly, but gradually you'll be like, all right, I need to put these things in place in order to not get back into that. And for the doom scrolling particularly, just because I say doom scrolling's bad doesn't mean I don't catch myself sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
you're like, I be, Jesus.
yeah, but
It's so
knowing
bad.
it is half the battle.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's bad is good.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of clock yourself
Yeah.
when it's happening. Aside from the mental health aspect of it, it wastes so much of your time. Like, you could have opened up Duolingo and done probably 3 lessons.
And I'm on Duolingo now learning Portuguese, and I be doing the same as that thing where I'm doing, and I'm like, nigga, get on Duolingo.
Yeah.
Your phone is already in your hand. Get on Duolingo.
Yeah.
And so that Duolingo don't start, because Lily be bothering me.
Yeah. I know it's an issue because there's so many people that, until they say it out loud, I wouldn't have even thought they had an issue with social media, like attachment or addiction.
I do.
But there's one girl the other day said she re-downloads it only on the weekends. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
This one guy that I work with, he has an app that if he wants to use Instagram, he has to do a certain amount of push-ups. And then the app will open up Instagram. Like, there's all of these apps in place to help with an addiction to one app that everyone is having.
Oh, I need that app.
But it's like, it goes to show you that we're all dealing with it.
It's so bad.
No one is better than the other. You know what I mean? It's all about how you can control it and how you can use it to your advantage. Because Instagram is an amazing tool.
It is.
To not be on
Social
it.
media is a great tool, but you have to
Yeah.
know how to use it for its
have
good. Same
to.
thing with like AI. Like, you just gotta know how to use it for good.
Yeah.
That is okay. Wow, you've shared
it's hard,
so
though.
much. Like, you've shared so many jewels, so many gems, so much advice. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Proud of you.
And everything you're doing. Like, do you have a final piece of advice that you want to share?
Oh, man. Final piece of advice.
I know you shared so many. Like, we're going to have so much to clip.
I think my piece of advice is don't think that there's just one way of life. Like, if there's something you want to do, just go for it and go do it, because at the end of the day, no one cares. No one cares if you succeed or if you fail, but like, you're going to care later on in life. You're going to be like, dang, I really wish I just would have just tried that. Don't be boggled down with like the social constraints of like what you think you should be doing, because it's all made up. It's all bullshit.
It is.
And once you tell yourself like, this is bullshit, let me go try this, then you feel free, and it goes back to that child mentality of not meaning you're irresponsible, but knowing that you have free will. And just make your life as pleasant and as peaceful and as fun as possible. That's my advice. Yeah.
I love it. What do you have? You have anything coming up? I know you're planning a trip to Bali later this year. And you got some exciting projects on. Anything you want to share with us? And
yeah, well, weirdly, so I had that one news for you, but there's a movie called Fall that came out a while ago, and they're doing a second one, and I just did a little day on there.
Oh, wow.
And that should be coming out in theaters this summer.
Okay, great.
So that'll be fun to look out for.
Yes.
And then I just became a series regular on a show.
Yes.
You guys will not be seeing it probably for like another year.
Of course.
And so that's just how it goes. I'm like, you guys are going to think it happens overnight, and I'm like, I'm about to shoot it in a couple weeks. You're not going to see it for a year.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Nonetheless,
you.
congratulations on that.
I'm very, very excited. That's what I came out here to try to do as an actor, and now it's time
It's
for that.
happening. We were just talking about how everything is now clicking, like, and now everything is happening, like, and I love that for you, because a lot of people don't ever get there, and people come to LA and their dreams, they quit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, no matter any type of pauses, breaks, pivots I've had to take, I've never quit.
Yeah.
You've never quit. We've never quit. And so as long as you never quit, I feel like you're always going to reach. Once you quit, then that's a wrap.
Because energy knows what's happening, and if you stop the energy of that momentum, then it has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And I'll leave you with this one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember, probably 4 years ago, I had $500 in my bank account, which, sure, in some places, but in Los Angeles.
That ain't nothing. I spent a...
Yeah, exactly. My rent was $500, and I was like, I still didn't think about moving back home. There was still no plan B, and I was like, it'll work out. Dumb as hell. Like, you know what I mean? You just gotta tell yourself that, because if you tell yourself it's not going to work out, then it probably won't, because
right.
you're telling the universe, you're telling everything around you that it's not gonna work out. And I remember my friend booked me for a music video that within a week. And I got it was $500 exactly for the music video. So therefore, now I had the money to pay my rent. Still broke.
Yeah.
But I'm still here.
Yeah.
And the little bit left to be able to like, nah, I can keep going. So it's like, don't take being like down or less than someone as like, oh, it's not gonna work out. No, it'll work out. It'll work
It
out.
will.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Let people know how they can follow you and keep up with you and all these amazing roles you have coming out.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Jordan Coleman. Jordan_Coleman on Instagram. That's where I'm at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll see me. You'll see me.
Thank you for coming, Jordan.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you. You finally made it on Live with Lamar.
I know.
12-year friendship, and you're doing great things. We're doing great. We've come so far.
Look at you. Look at you. You came so far. Look at this
Look at me.
setup.
Look at the leather
We have
pants.
lights.
We got
We have
lights.
lights.
We have lights.
I think that's a come up.
This is Live with Lamar. Thanks for tuning in to this amazing interview with my good friend Jordan Coleman. It was amazing. We dropped a lot of gems. Continue to follow and support and subscribe to Lamar Robson TV on all platforms, all social media, and I'll catch you next time. We out.